Well, thank you very much. This has been quite engaging session, especially for today. I've learned a lot of things, and this builds on a very beautifully crafted and framed theme for this meeting, which is reimagining mediation in a fragmented world. And I want to start from that premise. We talk of a fragmented world, and in other words, this is the new world order that nobody ordered. These are not my words, but some intelligent people somewhere try to rephrase the current dilemmas in those eloquent words that this is the new world order that nobody ordered. But then what is causing all these shifts to this fear of chaos and unpredictability? That is very important. You have, those who presented, the panelists that presented opinions and positions a few days ago pointed quite a number of them out. Some were attributed to major geopolitical shifts, and some were contributed to issues related to human security, actually, things like pandemic, things like pandemics, things like human or man-made calamities, all combining with all kind of wars, because all this play out in a recursive loop. You know, you have a natural disaster here, the next day you have a scarcity of resources, you know, and people end up, you know, fighting over those scarce resources, like things like pastures, things like trade opportunities, and all those kind of things. So the impacts in the last few years on the international arena have been so massive, and the spillover effect to all continents, to all regions, have been quite considerable. And in our case, in the Horn of Africa in particular, given our strategic position, and this is also historical, maybe dynamics have changed, but problems of the Horn of Africa, problems of the Red Sea, problems connected with hydropolitics are not new things. Maybe they are getting reimagined given the new realities, but these are things that different generations have lived with in this part of the continent. And therefore, understanding the causes of the shifts, and which you have correctly outlined, and the rest of the people who made presentations, is very important. Not every event that...
Give us one key point, because I see they are telling me time is running out.
Yeah, okay. Not every event that defined the moment. And most of these events seem to be externally generated. Much of it really did not depend on local dynamics. Even if you look at war in Sudan, for example, there are a lot of underlying causes that are far away from the local dynamics of Sudan. Take, for example, the war in Yemen, the deployment of RSF in Yemen, the deployment of the Sudanese forces in Yemen, and their interactions with the Gulf states at that strategic level, you know, had its own spillover effects in driving and in steering, you know, internal crisis in Sudan in a way. So what I want to say is that we have to focus on these important geopolitical shifts, these major events, some of which are related to our own internal crisis, but some of which come as a result of a spillover of major global crisis. Number two, we have talked extensively, and this is going to be my last point because a lot of ground has already been covered. We try to look at the civil wars, and the whole idea of what causes the civil war is trying to come back into the picture. And there have been a lot of economic drivers of the civil war, things having to do with greed and all that. Others have talked about local grievances that are embedded in the causes of civil war.
Just end with one quick takeaway.
Yeah, this is very important.
Short one.
But then, how do this play into the current picture? And this is the picture of fragmentation. You're talking of fragmented scene, fragmented security arena. How does it happen? What is the best state of nature that we aspire to? It's actually to have a state, and a state is a monopoly. This is all that we want. But then, the moment we lose that, and the security arena begins to fragment in the way it has fragmented in Sudan, you can say basically now you have two main actors. This is a kind of duopoly. If you are talking of a political marketplace, a possibility of this degenerating into a kind of a competitive market, which would mean you have multiple actors dominating the scene, is not far-fetched. So you delay the mediation, this is the result you get.
Okay,
The security
so
arena
will
becomes
that be
more,
your key takeaway from
yeah.
here?
Thank
Okay,
you.
wonderful. Now, Samuel, you know, wait, before that, Siraj, IGAD, you must bring all these very bright people in one room for one day, tell them to tell us now what we must do. Because even me, I'm tired sometimes, you know, that it goes in. And now you are young, Samuel. Samuel, if you start talking like us forever and a day, you'll be in the same problems we are in now. 20 years from now, you're going to tell some young person, I'm leaving